Hi, Aries. Welcome to your February 2024 reading for love, money, and life. Um, hopefully we'll cover all subjects for you. This is going to be for Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you have planets in the sign of Aries, and we probably all do somewhere. You know what I mean? I feel like we're all connected. Um, Speaking of, I feel like I know some of you are intuitively guided. Um, something piqued your interest. And if that's the case, understand that your spirit guides probably have messages for you. That's how I read through the tarot, but also through my spirit guides. I use the tarot as really like the jumping off point. So, anyways, welcome, Aries. Shout out to my friend on March 22nd. Um, And I'm trying to think when Aries starts. Okay, I don't think it's till March. So, anyways, welcome, guys. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. So, we're going to use three different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. That's what we'll start with. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or to go deeper, like I like to say. Like I want you to have real answers here. That's why they're long. Though I just did a series where I did, if you're looking for love, like or if you're maybe you're already in love, what was their current feelings for you? So I did that for each sign. You were the first one I think I started with. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so you have that. And then I also did your 2024 predictions. But I did for January, February, and March. Instead of doing the whole year, I felt like it would just be overwhelming or you'd forget most of it anyway. So I felt like let's get more of the current energy. And then somewhere in February, early March, I'll go ahead and do your spring. And then we'll do your summer. So we'll break it down. Normally I do the whole year, but I don't know. Something told me just to break it down this year. So, and I think a lot of you are appreciating that. You know, I guess not everyone, but you can't make everyone happy. So, anyways, Aries, again, let's get into your reading. I'm going to stop talking. So, I'm going to stop blabbering. So for your first or for your main spread, we're going to use a new deck that I bought. It's called the Cozy Witch Tarot. This is the deck I use for every one of their current feelings for you. It's called Love Messages. Um I think that's what I titled it under the playlist. So I use the same deck and I'm going to stick with this deck. I like to really break them in, and I haven't seen all the cards yet. I've shuffled and welcomed them, and saged them, all that, but I have not seen every card yet, and I like that. That's why I like buying new decks. Still in the works of creating my own. But in the meantime, I needed something else to stimulate my mind. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Let's start with Mother Mary. And although they're pre-shuffled, I am going to give them a couple shuffles with you here. So one more. Mother Mary, words of wisdom, whispering words of wisdom. Let it be. I feel like that is yours. We're taking it, and that is coming with it, and that is coming with it. Okay. Felt very clear to me. Let's go ahead and put these away, and let's go ahead and see what Mother Mary has to say. Integrity. By the way, excuse my fingernail. This is gel polish, and sometimes the whole polish just pops off, and that's what happened. And it takes forever to dry. It was the company I was working with, but I love the colors. It's just a lot of work. Um, which I don't know the last time I've had a manicure. Anyway, integrity. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. I trust my abilities to know what is true for me. Integrity. We have Sobriety. Sobriety. My clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. Now, that could certainly talk about substances, it could talk about alcohol, could talk about a lot of different things, but I really feel like the bottom line is it's talking about a clear mind so that you can receive your messages. If you remember that, you're a spiritual being and you were assigned, before you even came here to Earth, you were assigned a guardian angel. You were assigned spirit guides. Doesn't mean that more spirit guides, and spirit guides, I feel, have lived here on Earth. Now, doesn't have to mean at the same time, and chances are it wasn't at the same time as you. Um, Angels have not lived here on Earth, but we do need to ask for them to come into our lives, like, help to guide me along with your guides. But I feel like, yes, I need a sober mind to be able to pick it up. And then we have Faith. It's my granddaughter's name, Faith. I have faith in God. Whoa, sorry about that. I don't know what that was. I have faith in God to heal this situation. All right, so integrity. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. Sobriety, my clear mind is easily able to focus and concentrate. And then faith. I have faith in God to heal this situation. So I feel like some of you are looking for healing, and I pray you receive it. Let's put those over there. Let's bring the lid down, and we'll understand why they're why they came out through the reading. But I will read probably not all of them. We'll see. I feel like the reading will guide us to which one to read. But we'll do that at the end of the reading. I just feel like that's where the words are profound. All right, let's go ahead and give them a cut. Okay, we'll start with you, and I am going to shuffle for your monthly. The other one I was taking off the top, but it just felt right. But I feel like I need to shuffle. Whoa. Okay. Already, card off the table. Where'd it go? Wow. 10 of Cups. Huh. Interesting. Um, Interesting, Aries, because your first card is you, the Emperor. Being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. I feel like you know that. You know, you really are someone. If you think of Aries, Aries is a seed planter. And if you plant no seeds, you have no harvest. And that you can count on. But if you plant seeds and you nurture those seeds, well then you can plan on a harvest. You'll be bountiful. I feel like the Emperor definitely, much like the Empress has been through it, has gone through a lot, has learned a lot. Um, you know, the difference to me between the Emperor and the Empress is the Emperor to me is more methodical, probably puts a plan in place, and there's nothing wrong with that. Where I feel like the Empress kind of goes by the seat of her pants. Both of them I feel are inspired. Both are leaders. I don't know why I'm saying both. We don't have the Emperor, the Empress yet. Maybe we will. She's looking at a timepiece. It's almost like she's waiting. She's waiting for the right time for something. And then, I mean, she's sitting on her front porch. It's like I'm waiting for the time almost to strike a certain position and then movement. Interesting. Okay. And then the 10 of Cups went to the floor. I want to say fell to the floor, but and that, to me, a lot of readers don't even consider the ones that have gone to the floor, but I do. especially when they're face up, I take it as a sign, at least I'm feeling it here, where, maybe the Ten of Cups is already like written, in the stars for you, but maybe it's just not the time yet. Maybe it wasn't the time yet. The emperor, I feel, often is a business owner. And I have to tell you, this year, if you were thinking of, because we're in a universal year 8, so you want to research that and look at your own life path or even your personal year number. Your personal year number is easy to figure out. Take the day you were born and then the month you were born, bring that to a single digit, and then add it to 8. If it's a double number, bring that down to a single digit, unless it's a master number. 11, 22, 33. Some even consider 44. So, anyway, I'm only telling you that because I feel like when you know that information, it kind of is giving you clues about the type of year you're having. So, anyways, the emperor is the leader of the people, and people look up to the emperor. So you carry that natural energy. Why do they look up to the emperor? Well, more because of the actions that the emperor has taken. I may be speaking the words, but I have action behind that. Hmm, interesting. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Let's read what it says. Okay, but sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. Sometimes it really is all rainbows and smiles. It's connecting you directly to the Ten of Cups. Let's keep going. I feel like someone may have like they may say that what's that saying where like my clock is running. What's that? There's a saying. You guys know what I'm trying to say. And you usually start saying it around your late 30s, your 40s, like my clock is ticking, that type of energy. Yet I don't feel any angst within the emperor here. I feel like I'm being patient. I'm being patient. I'm trusting my timepiece, and that timepiece, for some of you, I feel like that timepiece may have been like a watch that was handed down to you. I feel like it has some type of special, interesting. I'm picking this up, but I feel like there's some type of special energy connected to it. Like your spirit guides are making sure that you're ready. Again, she's sitting on her front porch. It's like as soon as the clock strikes midnight, I'm moving forward now. I'm saying midnight, but I doubt it's midnight. Oh, okay, we got quite a few cards. Let's see. We have the Five of Pentacles. Well, it's like she's leaving that house. And maybe she's leaving it for good. I'm saying she, it can be he, male or female. Nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. This may be where faith comes in. The Five of Pentacles, it is the energy feeling like thrown out into the cold. That's the meaning of it. It is a temporary energy. It is a little bit of discomfort, because change, not all people are comfortable with change, yet sometimes if we don't like accept these changes or we don't move forward, I feel like in the Five of Pentacles, sometimes I don't have a choice. But maybe what I want to do is just believe that ultimately it's leading me to I don't know, better place. I don't know. I feel like someone may have gotten thrown out of a home, like told to leave, whether you told someone to leave or they told you to leave. We go from the 10 to the 5. Mm. All right, let's keep going. We have the Nine of Pentacles. It feels like, well, let's see what it says. Pause and savor the results of your success. So, this is someone who's willing to put the work in. And it's interesting how I was talking about planting those seeds. Well, this is where you start to see your harvest. The Nine of Pentacles talks about your hard work, but you reaping the benefits. The sole benefactor. I say the sole benefactor. I'm sure everyone you love will benefit, but ultimately, you're seeing the fruits of your labor. It's mirroring the Emperor. It's an independent energy. It's almost like someone has a plan, right? Somebody wants to do something that may be like outside the box, but I feel like in this Ten of Cups, it feels kind of like family, to be honest. Now it could be love also, but I feel like there's something there's something I feel like you want to do, and not everyone's going to agree with you. So I don't know, maybe you were thrown out of the house. But if that's the case, you're you're following a dream, right? I'm saying a dream. It's going to feel like a dream. Maybe you are just beginning. However, as the emperor, I feel like you possess the wisdom you need. You just want to make sure you put the action. And again, that timepiece is like, I feel like when it hits a certain time, you're going. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have room. Okay, I haven't seen this one before. Room. Tidy up your life so that you can make space for something new. I like that. I say that all the time. Like if you never clean out your closet, if you keep everything you've ever owned, how do you make room for new? I just said that to Sam the other day, like, because he's been in the same house for 42 years, and I said sometimes you gotta let go of old things so that you're letting the universe know I'm ready. Bring me new. Tidy up your life so you can make space for something new. Coming right underneath you. So it's speaking to you. And then we have, well, hello, the world. Interesting because I feel like you're looking at something with I want to say rose-colored glasses, but as I say that, I feel like maybe someone's saying that to you, like you have rose-colored glasses on. You're not, you're wishing or you want to create something that it just feels like it's out of the norm, or at least to these people, it feels out of the norm. I don't feel like it feels that to you. So now we have the world, right? No wonder we have the broom right before it, clearing, making room. The world is the next chapter. You're starting a new chapter. It is 21. If you add the two and the one together, it's three. So I feel like it's celebrating whatever is next. Again, and I feel like a lot of it's coming from you. So let's see, the world, yay, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. I just get this feeling that there's just someone who, it's like having a spiritual based business, and it's a spiritual based business, not a religious type business. And maybe, someone in a household is like, that's against our religion. It's like tarot, right? Um, but, I also feel religion is a man made, and spirituality is like just who you are. It's who we are. We're spiritual beings. Okay. So I feel like this is saying that that timepiece is going to hit the right time. Like very soon, like the right time is going to happen. And then I feel like then you get up off that porch. She's got butterflies all around her. She is celebrating this new chapter. We have the Hierophant. Card of Taurus, first of all. Number 5, the Hierophant. Tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. That's probably where I was feeling that, like, something that may feel, I don't know, like against, it's not part of our religious background, so to speak. But I feel like the Hierophant's saying, this is much deeper. This is real type of energy. Like whatever it is I am creating, I'm creating it from my spiritual being. I'm creating it from also my experiences. It's almost like you're saying to who's ever like trying to talk you out of this new path. It's almost like you're saying is, tradition is not everything. Important, but it's not everything. The Hierophant is about your faith. We have faith right here. I have faith in God to heal this situation. It's coming underneath another 5. Interesting. The 5 of Pentacles and then the Hierophant. I feel like what it's saying during, like, let's say you are making a move or, you're beginning a new chapter. And right now, I feel like this chapter is really speaking about your finances, your material world. Um, and I feel like you have tidied up your house and now you're ready, you're moving. You're moving. Now, it doesn't have to mean a physical move from your a home, but I do feel like movement within your life. Like there's some changes that are about to happen. And I feel like listen, I don't feel like this is a real surprise because I feel like it started with your own seed of intention. Harkin says, have faith as you move through these temporarily difficult energies that maybe it's just moving you into the right space. Again, she's moving from that 5 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles. Independence. It feels like I'm leaving home. Like let's just say I'm a college kid right here. Like there are certain dreams that I have that I want to go after, but not everybody in the family agrees with me. What do I do? Should I listen to them or, do I follow my heart? Well, here it kind of feels like following your heart. Um, and ultimately, I feel like whoever doesn't understand, if this is like someone that you love, like I feel like ultimately they will understand. Or maybe some people will never get it, but that shouldn't stop you. Like I do feel like you've got to get through that energy. You know what I mean? Hmm. Some of you could certainly have a child who is ready to leave the home and I could see you worrying a little bit over that. But in the same breath, I feel like you did a good job and now it's just letting them explore. All right, let's keep going. We have the 10 of Wands, Ten of Wands. Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Ten of Wands. Coming under the Nine of Pentacles, next to the Hierophant. And then we have, well, hello, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. Romanticize the present moment every chance you get. Every chance you get. You know, keeping love alive, keeping hope alive, faith alive, all that. Knight of Cups really does speak about an unexpected couple fulfillment that's coming your way. It's interesting because in the Ten of Cups, they're all sitting at the beach, but in the Knight of Cups, it's one person sitting at the beach. I get this feeling like I tried it your way. I tried, like almost like, maybe I went to school and I tried it the way my parents, how they saw my life, but it's not how I see my life. I feel like it's just someone who, I don't know why, but it feels like they don't want you to follow a certain dream. But I feel like it's more because they don't understand it. And I don't feel like it's going to stop you. But I do feel like, dang it, why do I, why is it got to be this way? But yet it is. I also feel with the Knight of Cups mirroring your energy with the broom, right? Tidy up your life so you can make room for something new. Well, or better. Then we have the Knight of Cups. So I gotta like say goodbye to the old and welcome the new. It's like the new year. And again, I feel like I've tried it. I've tried it this way. I've tried it your way. I've tried it what the world expects from me. But I'm not finding this satisfaction within myself. It's not satisfying me. So now I'm going to do it my way. And I do feel like, again, yes, there's a little bit of temporary difficulty, but very quickly, I feel like, you'll move through that energy. And by the way, when I see the Five of Pentacles, I always feel like there's soulmates on the way. Soulmates in all different forms. One, maybe love. So this next chapter is opening up. It's opening up because you, I feel like, are willing to get up off that porch and you're willing to start creating the world that you see for yourself. And I do feel like this is talking about the success you're going to have and celebrating that, being willing to celebrate, like celebrate yourself, even if nobody else does. Because I feel like, again, those who don't understand, in time they will, if that even will matter. For some of you, I feel like it will matter. But for others, I feel like, like like this is what I want. It's like you're finally doing what it is you want to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are creating your own business. Nine of Pentacles speaks about that. Successful self-employment. But it is due to your energy, your work, your knowledge, all that. I don't need to know everything because I'll learn as I go. All right. We have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, when life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade. Under the world, under the Ten of Cups. And then we have the Three of Wands. This is an optimistic view of your future. See what it says. Trust yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. Okay. I feel like this is the energy of kind of letting go of like exactly how things must show and instead trusting in divine that, if you're willing to put the work in, I feel like this is saying, then success will be yours. Now, let go of exactly how it must look. Even in love, like, like I'll only date someone with dark hair and blue eyes and period. Well, but maybe that's what you were doing and it's not working out, right? It's like, okay, I see a pattern here, you know. So I just mean that is as in keeping an open mind that things can be better than you even thought they would be. Keep your faith alive. Through, what's it say? Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. I did read that. So this is my view of the world or my view of what it is I'm creating. I feel like you're trusting yourself. You're really trusting what you're feeling. I feel like you're being guided, and that's making you trust it even more. So again, that for those who aren't on board, it's just I can't let that stop me. I mean, that's up to you, but I feel like you're being guided, and I feel like you're being guided towards success. Not only that, but I feel like loving what I do, willing to put in the work. Like, I don't feel like anybody could look at you and be like, well, you're lazy. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like I'm just waiting for the right time to make the next move. All right, we have the Knight of Swords. Be ambitious. Chase every dream. Look at that. Be ambitious. Chase every dream. Look at the books. They're all around her. I feel like no more reading. Now it's time for action, right? You know enough to really be successful. This can certainly speak about your voice. It's almost like as you learn, you speak about it, and maybe you're helping others. Be ambitious. Chase every dream. Three of Wands next to that. I have no doubt I can. I have no doubt that my dreams can come true. Again, I'm going to kind of let go of away exactly how they must show and just know if I'm willing to put in the work, then success is going to be mine. Now, we still have this knight over here that is now mirrored by the Knight of Swords. So let's see what else came out with that. Queen of Pentacles. Interesting, because we have the Page of Pentacles, and now we have the Queen of Pentacles. There's no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. Holy cow, guys. Chase every dream. You can have it all. Nine of Pentacles, success, successful self-employment, or just success in whatever you're putting your effort in or willing to put your effort in. Again, I feel like, yes, I can get through just a little bit of energy that can feel a little bit difficult, but I feel like your dreams are so much bigger. I mean, this is like dreams coming true here. Interesting, I see the Queen and the Page of Pentacles. Some of you may be connected to someone. You may have gone to school with them, and you may just be hearing from them on this new path. Maybe they even become a client. See who's on the bottom of the deck. Another page. Page of Swords. Curiosity is a type of magic. Curiosity is a type of magic. And look, she's going for a book also. To me, it feels like there's inspiration everywhere I look. Now, yes, it looks like it's coming from books, right? Like book knowledge, right? Book smart. But I feel like this is so much deeper than that, right? Maybe I'm learning from the books, but I feel like this because I feel very spiritual here. Um, so that may be part of it, but again, there's just something bigger here. And then I'm looking at the page and the queen. This could certainly talk about someone that you used to know, of your younger years. I feel like this person would also be a go-getter. This is someone who would chase their dreams, and I feel like you would say, ever since I've known them, they've been that way. Now they're sitting right next to the Knight of Cups. Again, an unexpected couple fulfillment. So, has someone gone from the page to the queen or the page to the king, keep an open mind with that because we are all masculine and feminine. So, it can be either or in this type of reading. But this feels like the younger energy and this feels like more current energy. Interesting, and she's walking in the door. I feel like it's your door. I do feel like some of you maybe reconnect with someone who has somewhat similar interest and energy. I do feel like your energies are on the same vibration. I wouldn't be surprised if this is talking about two people who met like maybe at a like a younger time, but both being ambitious, both wanting their dreams to come true. And again, they may be completely different, but I still feel like they're in the same arena type of energy. Or you never know, this person may end up being a client and you just might fall in love. You might fall in love. I mean, it's meant for you, it's mirroring your energy. Look at the four corners. We start with you, then we have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is saying to celebrate your work. And then we have the Knight of Cups, unexpected couple fulfillment. But here it says romanticize the present moment every chance you get. And over here we have the Knight of Swords, be ambitious, chase every dream. And then the Queen, there's no need to sacrifice, you can have it all. I mean, it's just saying over and over again. The only, let's say, I don't even know if I want to say difficult, but let's say difficult energies would be the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. In the Ten of Wands, I feel like I've really taken as much as I can take of something, and I need a change. Like, I want this to end. It is mirrored over here by the broom, so again, the sweeping out of what's not working, the clearing of what hasn't like gone your way and not overthinking that, but just literally letting the universe know, hey, I'm open. I'm open for what's new. Even if it's something old again, it's new. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. Very interesting. You have a really nice mix here of pentacles, of wands, um, a little bit of cups, swords. I feel like that's your voice. That's you being authentic to yourself. Like maybe for a long period of time, like I was, just living a life that someone else expected, but I feel like you've had enough of that. Like I've had enough. I want to live life in the way that I see it. And I feel like there is absolutely nothing wrong with that because I feel like you're being guided anyway. All right, let's start at the beginning, but we are going to read it as a whole. So we're going to look at you, the Emperor. Okay. We have Four of Pentacles. Huh. Some of you are leaving a home and you are just waiting for the right time. And I do feel like you're trusting your guidance here. Like you feel it deeply. It's almost like, how can I stay? Because I feel this opportunity so deeply, even if I don't know what it is yet. Some of you may be bringing something back to life that, listen, maybe you learned as a younger person and you weren't able to bring it out at that choice. Maybe you were raising a family and maybe kids have grown, or at least they're old enough where you feel like, okay, now I can start chasing my dream. All right. Well, these both came in reverse, and I wasn't going to read reversals, but we have the Page of Wands, and then we have the Five of Swords. I am going to leave them in reverse, but I'm going to read them both ways. So, Page of Wands to me is very much like the Fool. This is someone who takes chances. This is someone, we'll think about it later, right? Like, I'm going to follow that fire within my belly. Now, because it's in reverse, I feel like it's just simply saying that it's taken time for you to come to that realization or, define the what do I want to say, the guts to go after it. And then we have the Five of Swords that showed up over the Five of Pentacles. Another five. We have three fives in a row, by the way. Change. Change. Now, kind of love the Five of Swords in reverse because I feel like, it's interesting because I feel like if anyone's trying to stop me or trying to talk me out of doing something that just feels right to me, I don't feel like ill intent. I just feel like, though, I mean, it may come across as screaming and yelling and all that, I still feel like it's coming from a place of love. But again, I get this feeling like they just don't understand it. They don't understand me. So, the Five of Swords normally talks about the toxicity that's around you, whether it be people, whether it be your own thoughts, whatever it may be, it's become toxic to your system. Now, it's in reverse, so I feel like you're leaving that. Like I feel like you're saying goodbye. Now, it doesn't have to mean I'm saying goodbye forever, especially if this is family. Now, if it's a love, then I do feel like potentially you are saying goodbye because who knows what awaits? Who knows what awaits? The Five of Swords is being mirrored down here by the Three of Wands, an optimistic view of my future. Three of Wands really talks about living in the present moment. I'm going to start enjoying each and every moment. I'm going to find reasons to be grateful. It doesn't mean everything in my life is going right, but listen, I feel like I can make my dreams come true. Again, I'm not thinking about in the Three of Wands the ultimate destination. I feel like I do know what I want, but now it's the journey of getting there. And the journey is where all the joy and fun and excitement and adventure, everything that you're made for, that's where it lies. Okay. And I feel like the only reason this page is in reverse is because this timepiece hasn't reached the right time yet. There may be three changes that are happening, That's a lot of change for the month of February, especially we're in a leap year. But listen, these changes may be have already been on the horizon. It just may be this is the time. The world. Over the Nine of Pentacles. Hello. I will take that. It's like you're entering a new world. Like this world doesn't look like my old world. But this is the world that I wanted to create. This is you creating your world. I love this. I feel like 2024 being a universal year 8, there is never, I say never, but this is really one of the greatest years to really create what it is you want to create. I mean, 8 can certainly speak about like building up your material world, following those dreams. Eight's new beginnings, as above, so below, no beginning, no end. It's like there is something you were just meant to do, and it's just going to feel right, you know? And it doesn't matter who stands against me. I know in my soul that it's right. Good for you. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what you're sweeping away. Justice. Card of Libra. Um, can certainly talk about a divorce. Maybe I'm looking at this Ten of Cups like as family, but maybe it's also talking for some of you like a relationship. I have to say that. I don't have to say that, but that's one of the messages of justice. But justice, when it shows up in a reading to me, is about making you whole again. And I don't feel like you felt whole. I feel like karmic issues have been dealt with. I feel like you've been through it. But now you're taking all that, what we can call wisdom, and you're putting it to use. So you may be cutting ties. Sure, they could be legal ties. But I feel like, whatever ties I'm cutting here, again, it doesn't always have to mean forever, but it does mean for now. Coming over the broom, what you're sweeping away. Hello, sun, right over the world. Card of Leo, or ruler of Leo, but the sun, illumination. I feel like you are becoming clearer and clearer about the direction you want to take in your life. And I feel like you're finding the guts and the glory to go after it. I feel like you're willing to put in whatever work it takes. And I do feel like you will see the fruits of your labor. I feel like ultimately there may be three changes, but already we have, three threes, which again, a reason to celebrate joy. To me, it feels like something is very clear to you. Like I'm very clear on this. I feel like your guides are certainly illuminating your path for you. And listen, when your guides illuminating your path for you, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be easy, right? Even though we do have, where's the one card? Um, I don't know where it went. Hmm. I don't know where it went. I forget what I was even looking for. Anyways, I love the sun is here for you. It's like the sun is at your back. It is about illumination, and I feel like your path is being illuminated. But I also feel like, for those who don't quite understand like your goals, I feel like it's going to help illuminate it for them also. Maybe they'll back off a little type of energy. Three major arcanas in a row. I can't help but feel like February is going to be a big month for you. All right. We have the Page of Cups over the Hierophant. We have Hello Ace of Wands over the Ten of Wands. To me, this is beautiful. Because in the Ten of Wands, I really feel like I don't think I can take any more. Ten of Wands is a period of time of heavy responsibilities. Some of you can talk about school, and now you're graduating and now you're going to start chasing your dreams. Some of you, it is about those who, for whatever reason, seem to be standing against you. I feel like it doesn't matter anymore. Like this Ace of Wands is inspired action. That's what it wants you to take, inspired action. It's like an answer to your prayer, to be honest. Interesting, we have the Five of Cups coming over this Knight of Cups. It really is like this reading is trying to give you clarity in all parts of your life. It's almost like before I get to the love, I want to make sure we understand this part. So I feel like it's saying right from the get go, you're waiting for the right time to make a move. I feel like you're going to be inspired. So maybe that's why us sobriety is here, right? Because you want to have a clear mind. The sun to me is a clear mind. And then that Ace of Pentacles, inspired action. And it is changing the heaviness of what was and moving you into a much lighter type energy. I feel like whatever you want to create, listen, maybe you already have a business and you may find that like you've been struggling for a while. And I feel this for a lot of people, like, like doing, like we've been doing twice the work for half the pay type of thing. But I feel like things are changing now. Time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. Peter Frampton. Um, so the Ace of Wands, inspired action with the world right above it. It's almost like I don't need to fear these changes because, again, I feel like if you have a clear mind, you are being guided. Now, let's come down to the Five of Cups over this Knight of Cups. So, the Knight of Cups, again, an unexpected cup of fulfillment. It comes at the right time. I just don't know when that time is, so to speak. But I do feel like it comes at the right time, and I'm speaking spiritually. So, again, another five. So, this five talks about where your focus is at. And in the Five of Cups, many times our focus is on what we have lost. What we got to be careful about in this energy is we don't move into the woe is me type of energy where we get stuck in it. Doesn't mean we don't have every reason to be, like woe is me for a moment, but you're not meant to get stuck in it. So this is the energy of missing someone. But when this person, so right now, their concentration is what they have lost, the cups that have been knocked over. But once they make that move, there's two cups that lie behind this person, really, in front of this person. This person's still thinking of the past. Now, it's coming over the Knight of Cups, so we could certainly speak about someone of your past. And Maybe they're coming in the most unexpected way, in the most unexpected time, but at the same time, listen, the broom is right above it. So if there's like hardships or things I need to clear, now's the time to do it. It's like the broom is before it and then mirrored over here by the Ace of Wands. So sweep what needs to be swept away. So then what once defined you can find you with a much clearer mind. You know, we have the Page of Cups here also. That is about your inner child coming over the Hierophant. That's kind of beautiful. And then the Ace of Wands next to that. So to me, the Page of Cups is about, loving yourself. And I feel like when I say love yourself, that means that you're willing to take chances in your life, right? Come from the inner child, and the inner child is much less encumbered. It is where I'm willing to take chances. I love that the page is looking right over at the ace. All right, well, let's keep going. We have the Six of Swords. There's your movement for sure. First of all, we do have the Five of Swords there. So again, what was toxic? What's become toxic? When I say that, I don't want you to always think that means like bad people. It could just be energy that is no longer meshing with yours, Maybe for whatever the reason, it's like, it's stopping a dream from coming true. And everything here is saying go after your dreams. Here you are, going after them. Coming over the page. I feel like this page means something to you. And then, hello, star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. It's like the theme of your reading. This is about manifesting my dreams, not just thinking about them. Yeah, I want to think about them. I love that it's coming over the Three of Wands because this is with a positive mindset. It's like whatever intentions I'm putting out into the universe, they're of a positive nature. I feel like this room means a lot because I do feel like if I don't sweep the past, or at least past energy, then I'm going to be too bogged down to really enjoy the lightness of this reading. I feel proud of you because I feel like you are going after your dreams. Not are you only going after your dreams, but I feel like if you're serious, I feel like you are going to manifest um abundance for yourself, independence for yourself, but I also feel love. Love, 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 love. Come together right now over me. It's funny, she's got stars all through her coat. I feel like there's a lot of you graduating. Now, when I say graduating, I do feel like for some of you it may mean school. Others, I feel like it's like you're graduating as in like a dimension, like, your vibration becoming higher and higher and higher. Page of Pentacles again. Now, right over the Queen, King of Cups. Hmm. King of Wands. Two kings with this queen. King of Cups, King of Wands. It's this queen with two people. Maybe it's the queen who needed to, if she wanted to be with you, she needed to cut ties with another. Maybe she already has. Interesting that these two kings are coming over the queen. I want to know more about these kings. Let's just break them apart a little bit. Tell me why there's two kings here. I mean, one is you. How does this relate to Aries? Could certainly just be two different sides of yourself. Interesting, because that's what I'm picking up. Like in the King of Wands, that's your inspiration, that's your action. Um, this is the King of Action. And then the King of Cups would be someone who potentially is ready for love. Like, yeah, he's got a cup in his hand. Page of Cups right above him. Interesting how we have younger and then current energy. Younger and then current energy. So part of me feels like this is like the two sides of yourself. Whoa. Okay, well, hello, another king. Three kings. Seven of Pentacles. The Wheel. Okay, but who? Eight of Swords. Interesting. Another king. Got all the kings. Look at that. Don't we have all the kings? Yes. We have the King of Swords, King of Wands, King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. I feel like if you felt like you weren't being covered in this reading, here you go, because you're probably one of them. Now, on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if you are all the kings, male or female, because we started with the emperor. And I feel the king, the empress and the emperor has learned from each and every king or each and every queen. And then we have the Eight of Wands. I feel like there is, though, I do feel like this is also speaking about someone who is potentially, and it may not be you, because I feel like if there were ties to be cut, you've done it up here. I feel like here, because now we're following love. I feel like there may be another person who, like maybe I want to be with them, but they may be with someone else. But justice would tell me, well, potentially, maybe they also left them. Interesting how we have these two eights that are really opposites. Eight of Swords is a self-created prison. Definitely where I block my opportunities. I don't know any other way of thinking about it. Person has a blindfold on. They're loosely bound. They can free themselves at any time, but for whatever the reason, they feel stuck. But that is an illusion. And then the Eight of Wands, fast moving energy. What I think about, I bring about. Well, I don't like anyone manifesting from the Eight of Swords because it's very limiting. Let's just put it that way. Doesn't mean your guides can't reach you or whoever is in this Eight of Swords. They can. Because it's more about feeling. I don't have to see them. But in the same breath, listen, I kind of feel like someone's already set themselves free. And I wouldn't be surprised because it kind of feels like whether this person, because I feel like it's a someone other than you, and I feel like whether they have set themselves free or they're hoping to set themselves free, I feel like you have a part to play there. Now, I say a part to play though, in an Eight of Swords, that again, self created. You can't uncreate someone else's prison. They have to do it on their own. But maybe they do reach out in some fashion. Maybe you reach out. You know, we do have the wheel. So someone is destined. And then in the Seven of Pentacles, interesting because the Seven of Pentacles, one of the first lessons is patience. Well, I feel like that's what you were being patient here. But now that we have the wheel, I feel like things are moving. It's almost like, it's a lesson that I'm learning more and more through tarot. Like, we can't discard our material world, those dreams, like what it is we want to build. I feel like it's just as important as who we want to love. So I feel like in the Seven of Pentacles, this energy that's meant to be. Now, does it have to be? Well, not if this person doesn't break free. That would certainly put a kink in one's plans. Doesn't mean they won't, but they have to be the ones to do it. I feel like also in the Seven of Pentacles, I'm sure many of you have heard me say this many times, but I relate it to like an apple tree, and each apple becomes ripe at the right time, and that's when I pick it. So, interesting. Well, let's hop back since we have all these kings and the queen, by the way, and pages. Let's hop back to the Knight of Cups with the Five of Cups over it. Because part of me feels like then chances are you know this person or you're seeking a certain type of love. So let's look at that. Queen of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We do have the king. Seven of Cups. Making a choice, making a decision. Sometimes it can feel a little chaotic. Again, if we think about the Knight of Cups, it's an unexpected cup of fulfillment. But that doesn't always mean that someone else is giving us a cup. Sometimes we're giving them the cups. And then maybe they have to make that choice, that decision. Okay? Tell me a little bit more. I'm not ready to leave it yet. We have the moon. Heart of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. It does speak about uncertainty. So, listen, maybe love doesn't feel quite as easy as the rest of this, but I feel like there's some confusion around it. Like there's a lot of people in the mix. Um, but yet I feel like some of these kings are like different sides of you. It's almost like here I am. I went after my dreams. I'm building this success for myself, and now it's like I want more now. Now I would like to have someone to enjoy it with. So maybe you have someone on your mind, or again, it can be them, and it's like now, are you ready for love? You know, because it also takes your attention and your time and your effort. So the moon can certainly be a little bit of uncertainty, especially next to the Seven of Cups. But it's also dreamy energy at the same time. I feel like we're not getting a clear answer. So I'm going to ask for a clearer answer as all these people are here. Could be options. Sometimes we got to kiss some frogs to find our prince. or princess. So I don't know, just any clarity here as it regards to their love life. And then the Two of Pentacles, wow, and the Eight of Cups. Okay. I feel like there's someone who may be with someone else. And I feel like, listen, the two of you may come across each other's path in some fashion, some way. And this is an eight, by the way, so I know it's speaking about soon. So, if I look at the eights on the board, the Eight of Swords, self-created prison, and whoever created that, they have to uncreate it. But then the Eight of Wands is so close to that. So I feel like if this is talking about passion, I can't help but feel it. I can't help it. Feel it. And ultimately, maybe that is what allows someone to break free, right? I can't help but feel the passion that comes from you or vice versa. So the Eight of Cups is the moving on, right? It is using that broom. It is sweeping away the things and the up, like maybe, those limited ideas or even limited ideas as it relates to love. And again, this can be someone you already know, and it's like you come across each other's paths. Listen, this has happened for me, especially with person I always say happy birthday to for March 22nd. Jim, we lived together for 25 years and we came into each other's world, into each other's life at the perfect timing. Now we're not still together, but we did have a long, happy life together. Um, but what I'm saying is, I just feel like sometimes people come in at just the right time, just when I needed it, but it may be you that's helping them to overcome. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you have overcome your challenges and now again along this new path. Ultimately, I feel like whether this is someone that I used to know or someone that I just meet, I do feel like it's them who may be in a little bit of a blocked type situation. Now, again, I can allow them to feel my passion, but it doesn't mean that I can uncreate this prison for them. They have to do that. And by the way, I don't want to uncreate someone's self created prison. Why? Because they have to learn, right? And if I just come in and like sweep them off their feet and they never dealt with why that was created in the first place, did I not create more karma for them down the road in another lifetime? So, but I feel like ultimately this is energy that is clearing. Interesting. Love is never easy. Let's just put it that way. Love is never easy. And I feel like this is no different. I wish it was just like we meet, we fall in love, and that's that. It feels different. It feels like there are a little bit of challenges. It feels more on their end. But, and again, and I'm not saying go in and change their world. I just feel like your energy helps change their energy. It's almost like look at Aries, like living this life, like look at their life. Why can't my life be like that? But I feel like it can be. It can be. Or at least you can be along for the ride. They can be along for the ride. Okay. I feel like now I might be over clarifying. But as I say that, I'm just trying to think, the star card is here. And I guess I'm looking at it. The Magician. Beautiful. So, this is definitely showing you that you can manifest your dreams. This is the manifester. Um, the magician teaches the fool that you have everything it takes, and maybe you are the mentor. Like maybe those are the words you're going to be speaking, like you have within you everything it takes to be successful. Not just in your finances, not just in love, but in all areas of your life. Whatever these dreams consist of, you can bring them to fruition. You just got to know that. I almost feel like because your energy is becoming so much stronger that whoever comes across your path, you only make them stronger, whether you meant to or you mean to, or it's just who you are. It's like I just feel like your energy will, I don't know, give them. It's almost like because if you think of the emperor, that's an energy we look up to. So I feel like someone looks up to you and ultimately may make a pretty major decision in their own life. And I feel like they set themselves free from whatever was binding them. And then so it begins. And so it begins. Okay, there's a lot of cards on the table. So what do I want to read now? Let's read faith. Let's read faith. Right next to family, by the way. Faith. The question that you're asking involves a situation that is testing your faith. Nonetheless, this card indicates that more faith is needed. Everything will resolve itself in a divinely ordered way over time, even if presently no solutions are in sight. Prayers are often answered in unexpected ways, yes, they are, as will be the case for this situation. Leave it in the hands of God, who in his infinite wisdom already knows how to resolve everything. God, Mother Mary, and the angels can see your future, and it is bright. Have faith, dear one, so that you can enjoy each precious moment on your pathway to your beautiful tomorrow. Amen. 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 Wow. I love you guys. Um, back to those long readings again, but this needed to be long. I feel like major changes are coming your way. Do you have to accept them? I feel like you want to. This is not about do I need to accept them. I feel like you want to. I feel like you're being taken on quite the journey. But listen, it's because of your actions also. You're following this inspiration and you're following it home. And I feel like, it's showing that success can be yours, but also love, right? But love feels a little messy, but isn't that usually the way it is? I feel like it will work itself out also. I just feel like it's going to work itself out. And I feel like by the time we get down here, not only do we see success or abundance up here, but here I feel like now we're adding love into the picture. Why not? All right. I'm going to let that be, guys. I love you. I thank you. I hope this reading helps in some way to bring you clarity, comfort, whatever it is that you need. I hope this abundance and this love finds you, and it finds you like in the energy of let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's do it. So I feel that for you. I feel like a lot of excitement. All right. I love you guys. Thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. I am going to go live. I know I keep saying that, but I've been fighting COVID, though I do feel better and better every day. I was going to go live this week, but what are we at? I think we're Wednesday. I may go live this weekend. So keep your notifications turned on, because that's how I do it. I send you a link and I send it to the community page. So if your bell is not 100%, I don't know, like rung, then chances are you'll miss the notification. So that's the only reason I'm telling you. And that's where we go live and you can ask whatever you want to ask. You know what I mean? Like I leave it open. Though I don't like doing health questions, really, I don't. Um, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I will do, But anyway, so I'm going to let you be. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table, guys. Bye bye.